dear students. My name is Rizwan Kadir. We spoke about, in your last class, we spoke about voice of God, I believe. And today we would speak about the wise caliph. Acha, the point is, in your matric class, the very first thing that you have to see when you pick up your book, and things are very simple, because Synth Textbook Board shows you very simple sort of chapters in which you won't have any sort of hardened or hardcore language. English which is used is very simple. The wise caliph, if we speak about your unit number 2, this particular unit is actually a sort of a moral lesson for you, more or less about the leadership skills, the leadership qualities, what sort of a leader should an individual be. That is why Synth Textbook Board, I believe, this is what I feel that this could be the reason behind publishing this particular unit for you in matriculation. Now, the wise caliph, if we speak about the wise caliph, the main character here is Harun al-Rashid, Caliph Harun al-Rashid, and he was respected and loved, revered by people for his very just decisions in his court. And he was such a person who always wanted to be an honest statesman, who always had this thing in his mind that it is not just a leader is not just the one who has to sit in a particular mansion or a place and just put up people or order people to look after the state, to look after the people, even to look for the order. In this particular chapter, if we look at Harun Rashid's Caliph Harun Rashid's character, you would see that he always, by the night time, he always used to disguise himself with different cloths, putting up different things, and so that he is not recognized by the people of his, I would say, of his country. And then he used to move from place to place. When he used to move from place to place, he used to look for the things that either his rule, his reign is justifiable, his reign is just to his people as well. It's not just justifiable, but just as well. Now, in this scenario, if you see, it was his regular job. He used to go and look for the people. He used to go and look for his administration, his people, that either they were working for the welfare of the people, for the betterment of the people, because no society can develop, no state can develop, no country can develop if the administration is not just to its people, is not aware of the problems of the people, is not aware of the issues of its citizens. One day, a justice went to Caliph Harun Rashid and asked him, in fact informed him, that he was unable to resolve a dispute amongst two people, in fact between two people. The issue was regarding a horse. So Caliph asked the justice to bring both the people, both the parties into his court so that he could listen to them and resolve their problem. Caliph ordered the first person. Now the two people who came in, who had the dispute between them, one seemed to be from a richer background, from a wealthier background. The other one was more or less considered to be a beggar, a rogue, for instance. He ordered the richer guy, the richer person, to respond. So he started addressing to Harun Rashid. He explained him that he was on his way to the market, to the city, and he saw the other person, the rogue, that he was limping and he needed help. So he stopped and asked him to come up on the horse, to ride on the horse, so that he could drop him in the city, wherever he wanted to go. Reason behind, he wanted to help him out. Caliph asked the other person, the rogue, about, especially about that horse and his particular claim. Now Caliph asked him that, what is your claim? Caliph asked the rogue about the claim, and the rogue responded that he had that horse and the horse belonged to him as his personal property. Now, the very first thing that the rogue said was that obviously people would not believe him, the way he looks or the way he has in a sort of an attire he was, in a sort of a dressing he was. Reason behind, he had no money, he seemed to be in all sorts of doldrums, in all sorts of problems, with the reason that he never, from his looks, there was no indication that he could possess that horse. At that point, the reason which was shown by the rogue was that he had a lot of money, an excessive amount, and he had invested all that amount on that horse to make that horse as healthy as possible. And due to that reason, he looked in that position. He looked in that position of simply a beggar or a very poor position. Now, when the Caliph heard both of them, but in between, he also claimed that the nobleman asked him for the lift, asked him to help him to reach the city since he was in a hurry. So he requested him to climb on the horse and they should make the journey together. Since, to substantiate his claim, rogue also said that since he was a nobleman, so the rogue requested him to sit at the front of the horse and he sat behind him. He rode behind him with the reason that he was a nobleman and it did not look good that he should ride on the horse at the back of the rogue. In that situation, Caliph said it's an easy matter. It can be decided very quickly. So he asked both the men to go and place their hands on the horse, and he ordered the rogue to place his in fact he ordered to the nobleman, to the nobleman, that he should place the hand first. When he placed the hand first, horse felt it comfortable, and there was no signal, no indication that horse felt the hand as a stranger. Yet, despite the fact, the Caliph again asked the poor man, the rogue, to place his hand on the horse. The moment the rogue placed his hand on the horse winced, and he was uncomfortable with the way the rogue placed his hand. In that moment, Harun Rashid recognized that the horse belonged to the nobleman, with the reason that had the horse been of the rogue, it would have felt comfortable the moment the rogue had placed his hand on the horse. The decision was given, and the poor man was admonished and reprimanded by the Caliph, and he was not punished. And he was not punished with the reason that he was quite poor. Due to his position, due to his condition, he was not punished. Whereas the nobleman, what he did was also an exemplary decision. He gave some coins in a bag to the rogue, to the poor, so that he could not starve and he could have some food for himself. And everybody applauded, recognized, acknowledged the gesture of the nobleman. Now, after this story, after this complete chapter, there are, I believe, 5 exercises to be done by the students. Now, dear students, when you go through this particular chapter, the wise Caliph, in this chapter, I would request you to comprehend this as better as you can. And once you comprehend this, go through the questions. There are almost 10 questions. You have to solve all these questions, learn the new words, try to make new sentences, and one more thing, which is additional apart from this book as well. That is, I would request you to find some similar words, synonyms, which could help you improve your vocabulary as well. I hope this lecture to some extent is helpful for you, and we would come back with a new lecture within a couple of days. Thank you so much.